Hi, it's Eric and Amanda.
Hi.
And today we're talking about a verse from Hebrews 3:15-19. And says, "For who were the people who turned a deaf ear? Weren't they the very ones Moses led out of Egypt? And who was God provoked with for 40 years? Wasn't it those who turned a deaf ear and ended up courses in the wilderness? And when he swore that they'd never get where they're going, wasn't he talking to the ones who turned a deaf ear? They never got there because they never listened, never believed." So I want to share with you something, because I have a commentary book from Tony Evans. So this is what he said in his commentary.
If you don't want to harden your hearts, you need regular exposure to God's word. It's the only thing with the power to keep your heart soft. Those who rebelled against God and angered God in the wilderness disobeyed him because of unbelief. They didn't reach their destination, Canaan, because of their lack of faith. Faith is acting like God is telling the truth. It's one thing to say, "I have faith." It's another thing to demonstrate your faith in God by acting on it.
Okay, so I've talked to people that they've had bad experiences in the church, and so they don't want to go to it anymore. But back in my last video, I've said that we don't have to cower when the enemy attacks. And it's just like Jonathan Evans said, it's like that their family does not cower when the enemy attacks. Said they prepare and they attack. It's like David and Goliath. Like he didn't cower. He was not impressed with Goliath because he had God on his side.
And cowering and stumbling aren't the same things. So just make sure you know that, because everybody's going to have their stumbles and moments where we fall down, but that's why Jesus is there to pick us back up and make sure that we get to our destination with him by our side.
Yes. And the devil wants to keep us away from a relationship with God.
He wants us face down in the dirt. Yep.
And that's why there's a lot of demons in the church. They're trying to keep people away. Mm-hmm. But we shouldn't cower, like, just because I know people have had bad experiences, churches, but nothing should stop our praise and nothing should stop us from being happy. And we can always find a different church or different faith mentors, because also what I said in my last video is when we say mean things about other people, about ourselves, that we are defiling ourselves. So if a pastor is telling you something that you feel like is negative or like insulting to you, or like, then maybe that should be a sign, like they're defiling themselves. Maybe you should go to a different church, like, or you can also fight with God's word. Like you can say God's word. That's your moment to be a light. Please shine. So maybe God is bringing you to that person so that you can be a light to them. Instead of cowering, we can be a light.
Right. And of course you're talking about obstacles that may arise within the place of worship, because like you said, that's where if demons are anywhere, they are in the church. Yes, believe it. Yeah.
And this is another thing from Tony Evans' commentary, and says this, of course, is not always easy. But
he's referring to
faith.
Yeah.
Having faith or trusting
walking by
God.
faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is not always easy. But even when you don't feel like it, you must keep following Jesus. You may fall down. If so, make sure you're close to someone who can pick you up. So that's what a good faith mentor is, to pick you up. And if you don't,
the whole reason for church is to be surrounded by people who are going to pick you up when you're down and put you back on your feet, and be right there beside you on the path to victory, which is heaven, which is Jesus Christ.
And it says to be a special companion with Jesus at a whole different level, you have to operate by faith and keep going.
Right.
And it's like I like to say, like, it's his will, not mine. And I feel like nothing is impossible with God. So any strongholds, like, or what people consider addictions, and that, like, even though they want to do it and they know Jesus doesn't want them to do it, they can overcome that with God.
Right. And nobody's saying that it's going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight. The battle is long, but our God is almighty. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. His plan is going to unfold the way he wants. Yeah.
Yes. And I want to be surrounded by the presence of God all the time. I want to honor him, and I want to do his will, not mine. Yeah. His ways are a lot higher than mine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.